it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for January 2023. So on January 21st, we have a new moon taking place in Aquarius energy, marking the beginnings of a brand new cycle. So, of course, a new moon is always setting the tone for a brand new cycle, but most importantly, the reason why this is even more of an important cycle is the fact that this is like the third new moon in a row that's taking place at 1 degree 33 minutes, which is indicative of cleaning the slate and setting the tone for the next 2 years. That is a key indicator. Now, we just moved into Aquarius season yesterday on the 20th. We just had Mercury go direct on the 18th. We just had Mars go direct on the 12th. And all of these are very pivotal points of astrology because we essentially closed the door on the karmic chapter that we initiated back in the winter solstice on December 21st when we actually moved into Capricorn season. Capricorn season was very long, very low, very slow, very karmic in nature, realizing that we are kind of defragging our soul selves from past life karmic debt, and of course preparing us to kind of defrag what needs to be defragged in the here and now so that we can move on. Moving into Aquarius season definitely lightened the vibe just a tad, even though we are in the dark phase of the moon. There is no light, there is no illumination in the sky. We will be kind of sitting with the Capricorn energy funk of the existential dread of realizing the limitations, the restrictions that we're facing. That's what was supposed to be illuminated to us in Capricorn season. We're going to recognize what it is that we do not want to experience, what we do not want to have to deal with any longer. And we use that as the framework to decide and discern what kind of seeds we're going to plant as far as intentions go for this new moon energy. Now, the new moon in Aquarius energy is a beautiful opportunity to focus on connections. What kind of connections? Well, first, the connections that we're making in our inner realm between our heart and our head, between our past and our present. The connections that we're making in our physical realm with meeting the right people at the right time, understanding that soul family members, like-minded individuals are coming into our peripheral and crossing our path for good reason because they're going to be here to support us vibrationally speaking or physically speaking in bringing our new dreams, goals, and ambitions and visions to life. Connections as far as friendships go, communities go, networks go, group activities go. The Aquarian energy is the collective. We are aligning with the right kinds of people that have the same kind of, pursuit of happiness or projects on the go. We're all very much trying to build this new earth. And in Aquarius energy, the conscious collective, we are really unearthing a lot of the things that we kind of came to realize were blockages and limitations and restrictions in Capricorn energy. We are setting out to break those systems down. Now, the Aquarian energy is very visionary, so we're thinking a lot about the future. This isn't necessarily a time of action. Okay, we will get there, especially after the 22nd when Uranus goes direct. We will be free and clear of having any planets in a retrograde for approximately 3 months. Now that Mars and Mercury are direct, we are going to see a lot of action take place. We are moving into an accelerated manifestation window, if you will, where there's going to be a lot of moving wheels and spinning circumstances and wildly events and I'm going to say storylines popping up and popping off. But we're not there yet. This is very much tapping into the higher mind, right? The intellectual mind. Let's talk about this for a second. Uranus, who is the great awakener, who rules over the highest level of our intellect and downloads us with genius ideas, aha moments, epiphanies, visions, dreams, all that good stuff. He is the modern day ruler of Aquarian energy. Saturn is their traditional ruler. So it does feel like there's a dramatic shift between Capricorn season and Aquarius season. Saturn is the sole ruler of Capricorn energy, and we tend to be a little bit negative, a little bit, restricted, a little bit afraid to move on, afraid to make changes. We are very traditional and want to stick to what is tried, tested, and true. So even though Saturn's still kind of in his power in Aquarius season, we have the Uranian energy that wants us to change, that wants us to challenge traditional beliefs, that wants us to break the limitations, that wants us to rebel against the old. We have Uranus in a lot more, I'm going to say, of a more powerful placement than Saturn is in Aquarius energy. Nonetheless, they're both working together. However, Saturn would prefer for us to take the lowest, slowest role possible to evolve, and in some cases not evolve at all, just stay in the comfort zone. And then you have Uranus energy over here just pushing the boundaries of what it is that's actually possible. Either way, we're thinking long term. Capricorn energy, Aquarian energy, very focused on the future. Capricorn energy, a little bit more conservative and reserved in the dreams, the vision, the goals that we set for ourselves, because we don't want to be disappointed. We want to set goals that are actually achievable. The Aquarian energy, we're pushing that boundary. We want the biggest dream possible, even if it means that we're setting ourselves up for disappointment, because we're going balls to the walls with wanting to create a very, very dramatic change in our lives. And so we have to kind of set our sights on, the furthest goalpost ever, knowing that we aren't going to be, egotistically challenged or depleted if we have to kind of pull the goalpost closer to us. We don't mind being, semi-disappointed as long as we're progressing in the right direction. So this is an intellectual thing. We are very caught up in visualizing, especially on the dream and the vision that we now want to kind of create and manifest for ourselves. Not so much a time of action. Again, that action time will be coming here very soon, but this is a higher intellectual type of energy. This is pushing us to solve the problems that we definitely are aware of in our lives. And this really pushes us to, again, kind of think outside of that box and push the boundaries of our belief system. And, we are definitely a lot more positive, a lot more hopeful in our vision and what it is that we actually think is possible compared to the Capricorn energy. But we're brainstorming. We're constantly trying to rework things in our head. And, we're not afraid to collaborate with other people. That's another difference. Capricorn energy prefers to be the boss and the only boss and, sets the tone, while the Aquarian energy is like, okay, this is what's good for me. This is what my truth is. This is where I want to dance to the beat of my own drum. But hey, what do you think? What kind of drum beat are you dancing to, right? We want to kind of be inquisitive into other people's thoughts, other people's journeys. We're not afraid to accept help. We're not afraid to kind of, experiment and deviate from our own plans. And Aquarian energy, typically speaking, allows us to emotionally detach enough to act as the observer and see different perspectives that we wouldn't be open to if we were too caught up in our own game plan, our own results, our own ending. We aren't as fixated on sticking to the plan. We just need to have a general focus, a general plan, and know that we can constantly question whether or not we can be doing things differently, doing things better, coming to the same ending in a short amount of time. And we're not afraid to talk to other people and collaborate and bounce ideas off of other people, because that's where inspiration comes from. So there's a lot of interactions. Again, we talked about connections. Pay attention to who is stepping up in your life, to pay attention to who new people crossing your path and at what time. They're very important to the overall understanding of where it is that, you're like-minded in vibration and frequency and probably have same common goals and plans. We are constantly just trying to level up, to be better, to do better. We are constantly pushing our enlightenment, our awareness. Again, we're in the realm of conscious, collective, hive mind, if you will. We are a lot more social, even though we're still kind of in this ending cycle of the astrological calendar and a little bit more introverted. As long as we're on the same page and we're talking about something intellectual with someone who has the same kind of perception, understanding, and passion, we are down to socialize. And again, these are all thoughts. This is like a good brainstorming time. We're not really talking about feeling so much, right? Because we're emotionally detached from that. We're talking about how we can better ourselves and in turn better the world around us. So this is a time of very dramatic, very intense, progressive change. And Lord knows we've been all waiting for some change. So if you downloaded your moon guide, which you should, you would know that I kind of took a different turn on how I kind of explain some of these aspects. I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, both in these forecasts and in the moon guides, that people like it when I kind of personify the planets and make them have conversations and kind of, what that conversation would be or what the interaction would be. So I kind of took a different story time turn or twist with the way that I described some of the aspects taking place under this new moon. So I hope you all enjoy that. Let me know what you think. I'm probably going to run with that because it seems like people seem to understand how the planetary influence impacts them a little bit more when we make it about like characters in a movie, so to speak. So I'm probably going to elaborate on that moving forward. But moving through the moon guide, taking a look at the elemental energy profile here, we got a lot going on. Now, we have had huge amounts of Earth that we have been kind of stuck in. That's why everything's been super, super low, super slow. Now, we still do have a lot of Earth, but the Earth is supporting our new ideas because we're kind of dominant in air energy here. I want to talk about this. So a stellium is when we have 3 or more planets in the same sign. Right now we have, of course, the sun and moon sitting together, creating our new moon at 1 degree, 33 minutes. And that's at the beginning of Aquarian energy. We also have Venus and Saturn at 23, 24 degrees, so they're only 1 degree away from each other. And they are definitely rattling on about how we have to boss up to a new level of discipline and commitment to see not only our wants, needs, and desires be met, but to really pour into the relationships that we deem to be of worth and value. So we have this, cluster of energy in this Aquarian energy. We also have a whole lot of Earth energy, which is our physical realm, creating a foundation, a strong enough foundation to actually house the new visions, ideas, dreams, goals that we're setting for ourselves in this Aquarian energy. The thing that I want to talk about here is that we have an influence of Pluto, who is in Capricorn energy, 28 degree. He is within orb, so any planet that's within 5 degrees of another planet is considered within orb, which means that their planetary influence is definitely contributing to this overall vibe. And we have Pluto teaming up with the new moon, the sun and the moon, here at the very first degree of the Aquarian energy. They're within orb. So what we get here is a huge shift in our mental plane, in our thoughts, in our ideas, in our trajectory moving forward, in our goals, in our dreams. We are tapping into the highest level of intellect that we could possibly have. And Pluto, who is the great transformer, is down for it. He is here for it. He is showing up for it. He is empowering us to boss up, to take control of our lives, and to align with a new vision, a new dream that we're eventually going to manifest. Now, moving through the moon guide, you're going to know that this particular trio is working very well with Mars, who is now direct in this Gemini energy, giving us the physical energy, the motivation, the inspiration, the hell-bent, spiritual warrior-like attitude to stop at nothing until we execute the idea, the path, the decision, the choice, the direction that we are now hyped up to actually get started and take. However, this trio is also squaring off with Uranus in the true node, who is pushing for change, but right now Uranus is still retrograde. He will go direct on the 22nd, which is going to be a great thing. But right now, under this new moon influence, he's still retrograde, which means that he is showing us where we are too closely attached to some physical realm aspects. Maybe we're too stuck in a routine that could be better. Maybe we're stuck in relationships that could be better. Maybe we're stuck fixated on, possessions that we don't want to let go of. Maybe we know we have to move, but we don't want to. Maybe we know that we've outgrown our vehicle, but we don't want to give it up because we don't know what to move into. Maybe we are so caught up in our own lack of self-worth, lack of self-love, that we don't know how to move on into a situation that is a little bit more safe and secure than what it is that we've been living in. Because as much as we all want safety and security, sometimes getting what you prayed for is a scary thing. Uranus is here to illuminate what it is that we're afraid to let go of, what it is that we're overly attached to. And that true node has been working with Uranus to say, okay, we know we got to get on the right path. We know from our higher self what path we need to be on to actually reach our soul's evolution. But Lord, our ego is so afraid of what that might mean for us, what we would have to let go of, what we would have to change, that we don't know if we're actually going to get on the right path. Lucky for us, the trio, the new moon, Pluto, working to create tension and conflict for us so that we get to a point where we're like, you know what, screw it, throwing caution to the wind. I'll see what changes and opportunities that I can kind of make within myself and take upon out in the external realm and see what actually will fill the void of some of these things that I'm willing to let go of. That's a great thing. Now, Uranus and the true node, they're making their own kind of aspects. They're making a beautiful trine with Mercury up there, finely direct, still kind of got sleep in his eyes, a little bit of drugs and alcohol still in his system. So things are still a little bit foggy. However, our mind space is opening up. Uranus is the higher level intellect. Mercury is the lower level intellect, and they're working together to actually examine in the past sense what it is that we've outgrown, what it is that we're too attached to, in order to shift our perspective on what it is that we want to grow into, what it is that we want to set for ourselves with new dreams, new goals, new visions. It's a beautiful thing. But Mercury is actually squaring off with Jupiter, who's over there in Aries. Jupiter just wants us to grow, wants us to expand, put ourselves out there in ways, act on impulse, create new opportunities. And Mercury in this Capricorn energy is like, whoa, 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 you got to slow the roll, because we have to have a plan. We have to have a strategy. We can't just go making changes to our lives, especially big changes to our lives, willy-nilly and just suffering out the consequences later that we didn't think of in the here and now. We have to have a strategic plan in order to actually execute these ideas so that they're going to be safe and secure and solid and create the kind of foundation that we're going to need for the long term. Now, we have a lot of other planetary aspects kind of working both for us and against us, although the ones that are working against us are just creating the conflict and the tension in order for us to see where change is needed the most. But you can run through and kind of go through that rundown in the Moon Guide. The basic concept of what we have to focus on for this new moon energy is, what do you want to move away of? What have you outgrown? What are you done with? What are you sick and tired of? And what would you create to take that particular energy's place as far as growth goes, as far as dreams and visions go, as far as, new experiences go? Like, if you were able to look at your life and look at the things that have been bothering you, and it was a simple computer process of just highlighting the thing that you didn't want and hitting the delete button, what kind of situation would you want to create to fill up that space? Because this is visual, this is visionary. This is about manifesting. Mercury is in Capricorn energy, the great manifester of the zodiac. We have the highest intellectual insight working for us in this Aquarian energy to set our sights on something beautiful, something of like mind, something that is not only going to better ourselves, but better the people in the world around us, which essentially is adding to the collective energy of trying to build new earth, where love and unity and peace and happiness are concerned instead of this division, this fear, this hate. So whatever we are doing to better ourselves and better our lives is like a drop in the bucket that has this reverberatory effect, a ripple, if you will, that goes out and affects the world around it. And this is what we need to be focused on. This is what we need to be prepared for, because the new moon in Aquarius is setting off the universe, hitting this fast forward button and starting to manifest whatever it is that we're focused on underneath this new moon energy. So we have to be very careful with what it is that we allow to take over in our mental plane. We have to be very cautiously aware of the vision and the dream that we are kind of grasping for ourselves, to not set limitations and restrictions on that dream. What do I mean about that? Okay, so let's just say, for instance, your dream is to open a little bit a little cafe, maybe with a little, book or cat cafe. Okay. That's just a vision. Let's just say that that's your goal. So you have this vision, you focus in, you know what it's going to look like. You know what the name is going to be. You can kind of see what kind of, products you would sell, what the bakery is making. You can almost see people coming in and getting their coffee and grabbing a book and sitting next to a cat. You can see this happen and it feels good. But then what happens? Your ego kicks in. Well, that's never going to happen because you're never going to have the money to do for that. You can never give up your job right now because you have too many bills to pay. You're never going to get a loan for that. You're never going to have the energy in order to maintain a business by yourself. These are the ego's negative narrative ways of keeping you stuck in a state of paralysis so that you never grow, you never evolve, and eventually you will stop dreaming. So we have to be careful to dream and to visualize without restrictions and limitations. We just came out of those restrictions and limitations in Capricorn energy. We are not about to do it again here in Aquarian energy. We are going to set our sights on all possibilities and not be afraid to quote unquote fail. And why I say quote unquote fail is because there is no failure. Okay, there is just a deviation and a detour of different directions when you meet a certain point in your path that you're trying to manifest. We would have been terrified in the Capricorn energy to fail. Failure is not an option in Capricorn energy. We don't see failure in Aquarius energy. We see experimentation and deviation when we're gifted with the information, the details, and the circumstances in order to make a move and change directions. So it's all about your mental perception, and there's going to be a lot of wheels spinning in your mental plane because the higher mind is at work under this Aquarian energy. So with that being said, there's a lot to unpack. There's a lot to unravel. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot to process. But mostly, I just want you to kind of sit with where it is that you're at. Explore what's coming up for you. If you don't feel light and fluffy, you don't feel the shift, you don't feel the higher and lighter vibes, that's okay. We're in the dark phase of the moon, okay? It's not supposed to be something magical, but we will be feeling that energy shift as we move through the weekend, especially once Uranus goes direct and we start seeing some, really wild card energy events happen to us in our exterior realm. That's going to kind of poke the bear a little bit, get the fire lit underneath our butts a bit, and really kind of fast forward us onto a path, onto a trajectory that we need to be on in order to reach the next phase of our soul's expression and our soul's potential. So I hope that you dream the biggest dream possible, that you open yourself up for new opportunities, that you do the work, you do the shadow work to examine where it is that the egoic self is creating memory blocks and situations and limitations in order to keep you where it is that you're at, and that you override those systems with your highest potential in mind.